Hi everyone, Aldbar here. This is my solo walkthrough and guide to the level 30 Epic Raid, The Mark of Death, on the Elite difficulty. Enjoy. Hi everyone, Wardrek here. This raid is the conclusion to the Epic Necro 4 quests. The Necro 4 quests have two sets, Heroic and Epic, who are basically copies of each other, but not exactly the same. The Epic quests have their own quest giver with their own private chain, and completing them will give you access to the raid. The raid is located in the same place though that you have the Heroic Ascension Chamber. Well, here we go, attempt number 7. If you've noticed, there's been some renovations to this place, but for all intents and purposes, it's basically the same thing when it comes to this room.
You, the so-called adventurers who infest Stormreach, your kind ruined my ascension to godhood. I allowed the world to believe my phylactery was destroyed so I could plan my next attempt in peace. Then Aranda's Vole appeared and promised to help. I should never have trusted her. That half-breed she-lich betrayed me. She's bound my soul to obey her.
The mechanics of this raid are overlapping or similar in many ways to the heroic version of this raid, but they have some unique scenes in different ways, so we'll be going through all the different things that you need to know for this raid. I start off by beating the Abbot down to about 50% health.
The Black Abbot cackles and withdraws to his statue. A glowing portal opens at one end of the platform.
Once you beat him down and he takes his first rest, he'll open up a door.
One of the Abbot's sarcophagi stands at the end of this long chamber. Approaching the Death Knight, you feel a shift, a sudden weakness.
There are 3 puzzle rooms in this raid. Each one of them has one sarcophagus and item or items that will spawn. They also have a Death Knight, and each Death Knight has a special ability. This Death Knight has a special quelling ability. He's basically like a quell. So standing next to him, hitting him, will quell you. So right now, I've got Intercession on. Basically, it prevents me from casting any divine spells. So there's other ways to heal, but I cannot use like my heal spell or anything like that to heal myself up. Once you kill the Death Knight, you then break the sarcophagus, then you must pick up the item to complete the room. This will open up the door that will let you back out to the center. Once you've completed the first room, 2 other rooms will open. Now you will have the goggles. The goggles you get are the Delta Phase goggles. These allow you to see the tiles in the main room. These tiles have either fixed tiles that are blue, or the green tiles who can turn red. They phase in and out. You are meant to walk on them and not fall into this damaging water. If you walk through all these tiles, you get to the corner, and there'll be a dimension door who will send you into the 2nd or 3rd puzzle room, depending on which corner you went to. A mechanic that you might be aware of is when you do this solo, or even if you do with a party, if no one stays in the center, you'll be summoned back out. So we need to hurry. So rather than going around, I found that if you run all the way to the corner, you can actually get past the blue barrier. So we have a very short time and we need to do the best that we can with it. This Death Knight has nothing special going for him. He just looks menacing, but I'm going to try to stack him up as much cutter as possible so he'll take damage while I get summoned back out. Yeah, if you're wondering now why I'm not getting stuck in being engulfed in his engulf and encase attack, that's because I'm using the Divine Crusader stance and I have Holy Presence that gives me petrification immunity. Yeah, so having a dot go off on this boss can be very useful because you keep on getting summoned out. Of course, if you have a party, you won't have to think about this at all. Someone stays out in the center and you can just take your time. Yeah, make sure not to get stuck underneath those tiles while trying to jump to the door. Also, all of the knights in here, sorry, all the vampire knights in here are just fodder. You don't have to kill them. Yeah, this Death Knight is by far the hardest one to do. You're trying to solo because you get summoned back so quickly. So knowing how to jump and get in very quickly by skipping basically all of the tiles is a big deal. No, didn't make it to the sarcophagus. I'm gonna have to go back in one more time to break it. The way it works is these rooms have a one-way door in, and only once you finish the encounter will the door to let you out open. When the door to let you out open, the door to let you in will be closed. You'll notice the breaking the sarcophagus will spawn the item, and only after you pick up the item will that door spawn. If you don't pick up the items, the door won't spawn. This stumped me already once. Okay, we've done the one that we run across the platform and jump off to the right. Now we're going to do the one where we keep on turning around and going to the corner behind us to the left.
Another Death Knight. Your spell and missile attack.
This Death Knight has a special ability that makes your spells become way more expensive. Also, he slows down your ranged attack, so not that that bothers me, but I'll just be careful not to cast too many spells while I'm debuffed. That could suck out all of my spell points really fast. Now if you wonder why I'm not being affected by the quells, and why is it that I can still cast divine spells, that is because I am wearing a pair of goggles called Glimpse of the Soul. These come from the Epic Inferno of the Damned quest. There's the heroic version that gives you a sword, a great sword actually, called Atonement, that you can hold in your hand, but that's not convenient for me. So I've got the legendary version goggles, Epic version goggles, Glimpse of the Soul. And those give me intercession ward, so these quells can no longer affect me. Well, now that I've done the encounter, so we get our first cutscene.
The Black Abbot's third sarcophagus breaks, and he is once again vulnerable. But a voice intones through the chamber.
This is how the Mortals defeated you the last time. Isn't that right, Abbot? It doesn't suit me for you to die yet. Withdraw!
Yeah, if you can try to get me a screenshot I need for the thumbnail. Yeah, there's too much stuff right now. Maybe I'll try to get it later.
But after centuries, I finally found a source of necromantic energy that could reactivate it. In an upstart lich who sought to make himself into a god. How cute!
Okay, so a few things. First of all, they debuff me super fast, so buffing is pointless. That's why I'm taking all this extra damage. The thing that I'm trying to avoid over here is Vol will surround me with these circles, and then a few seconds later the blue mist will come up, or I like to call it the blue goo. And if you stand in it for too long, you will take 5 ticks of 20% of all of your hit points and die. So you really do not want to get stuck inside of it. At the beginning it will just prevent all spell casting and give you some evil damage, but if you get stuck, you'll like die so fast, so making sure you stay away from it is very important. Now all of this trash keeps on spawning. I'm killing some of it to heal myself up, But mainly I'm trying to, well, that was close. Mainly I'm trying to just make sure that they don't stay around for too long. These archers, the longer they stay up, the stronger they get, and eventually they start hitting you really, really hard. They get like a buff, a power buff. So you can either like blind them or stun them or do something so they can no longer damage you. And in my case, I'm just going to keep on killing them. Yeah, another thing is these Doom Spheres, mainly the most dangerous thing that they do is they hit you for constitution damage. Too much constitution damage, and I'll become helpless, and well, that'll be the end of me. I've already failed once because of that, so I'm going to keep on making sure that I use restoration. That's why you see me using Turn Undead all the time, because it has a restoration effect, at least for me. Yeah, now the goal over here is to try to beat down the Abbot again to like 50%. Since I'm melee, every time the blue mist comes up, I have to move away from him, then I can no longer hit him. So I have to wait for him to teleport to someplace else. Also, now that he's going to do the Inferno, I'll finally be able to get rid of this visual glitch. Yeah, in this raid, if you stand right on the edge of the platform, you'll be safe from the Inferno, so you don't have to use the Ice Wall Wands. If you do get hit by the Inferno, you should use Remove Curse. Speaking of which, I strongly recommend you bring potions for this quest. If you have Remove Curse potions, that way you don't have to worry about Divine, and you don't have to worry about running out of spell points. Also, if you got some of those Maybar, Death Ward, or Restoration potions, you definitely should bring those. Yeah, okay, we're doing good. We beat the Abbot down. Now Lady Vol's going to summon back the 3 Death Knights. This is where I've been getting stumped so far. I believe that if I beat down the Death Knights, then I just have to beat down the Abbot one more time and I'll be done. What are you doing? No, I'm just... Sorry, I'm panicking. Relax, you're doing okay. Just try to focus on the Death Knights and you'll be good. Yeah, this is one of the things that I was struggling with. Since Lady Vol keeps on giving me the spot and then making me stand and making me have to move away, I needed some way to make a damage over time to these Death Knights. Speed up my DPS, because eventually I'm going to get drained. So, if you do this with a party, this should go much, much, much faster. Yeah. I assume that there's priorities based on what your party is made out of. That means who's in your party and which one is most dangerous. The one who has the quelling effect should probably be taken care of first, since it probably affects most people. And second should be the ones with the tensors, because his effect annoys all the spellcasters. But for me, it makes no difference. I'm not affected by either one of them. I'm immune to the intercession, and I'm okay with not casting spells. As you can see, I'm not casting any spells anyways, I'm just healing from my attacks. Yeah, well, I have to just keep this up. I'm standing next to the edge. This way, I can keep on moving out, and by the time I do a full circle, the blue goo is already gone. Picking one Death Knight at a time, and making sure I stack up Cutter, so should go down faster. Oops, no. No, no. Ooh. That was half of my hit points. This is some kind of new strategy or something? No, I'm just taking a swim. Actually, I'm just extending your video time so you get, more view time. Yeah, thanks. No, but all seriousness, I'm doing okay. So as long as I don't choke over here or something, we should be in the clear. There is one more thing that I read about on the wiki you should be aware of, and that is as soon as the Death Knights come down, Vol will make a big attack, an AoE attack. basically like the blue mist, I think. So make sure that when you do kill them, stand next to the edge. Don't get caught out in the center. Okay, got it. Well, a few more hits and this should be good. Okay, last Death Knight. Okay, here we go.
With the Death Knight destroyed, Lady Vol flies up, and the floor of the chamber begins to shake.
Cool. Well, that was uneventful. Well, I do believe she can do it again, but it's always centered around her. That means right now, her first time she did it, she was standing in the center, so standing in the edge was effective. But after that, she might be standing someplace else, so you might want to watch out for that. Well, yeah, that's it. If I can beat down the Abbot now, I would. He doesn't want to move out of the mist. Okay, good. See? There you go. Nice standing in it. I wasn't sure what's better, jumping into the water or taking damage from the AoE. Well, almost got it. I just need him to move out so I can hit him. Yeah, make sure you don't choke last second. Try to focus on your target. Great, now I've got Inferno. I believe that since I walked into one of the rooms while the Inferno was active, it bugged out visually and left the Inferno visual up, and it only got wiped once there was Inferno again. And now I'm taking negative levels. This is really bad. Yeah, you should just kill him. Just go for it. 5 negative levels.
The Abbot collapses, then dissolves.
Wow.
Vol grows sullen and relinquishes her assault.
What have you done? I would have used the Mark of Death to give the world immortality. No child would have needed to live without their family. But without the Abbot, the Mark of Death is truly gone. You've chosen the world as the dragons and elves would have it, where the shadow of death is always on us.
Well, I hope I got your screenshot. Now I just have to figure out how to get rid of this Inferno. This Inferno is taking down with ticks all of my spell points, so I can't cast Remove Curse. So Ring of Spell Storing and hit Remove Curse before it runs out. Yeah, there you go. Well, definitely next time I should be more prepared and come with potions. But I'll confess, okay, this is the first time I've ever completed this raid. So yeah, I've never done this with a party. I've only done this solo. So, and the first time I stepped in here was like 3 days ago. So, cut me some slack. The loot in this raid is kind of unremarkable. You get your Masterwork Tapestry shards you can use to upgrade your items, secondary slot items that come from Necro, and you get some fate. You can get some threads and maybe a chance at a tome. The notable piece of loot that you can get from here is Epic Litany of the Dead, which can be turned into an augment. Also, 17 minutes, not bad. Yeah, so don't forget to return this raid. This is the epic version of Ascension Chamber, so it has its own quest giver. It's actually, well, supposedly it's much faster to just farm 20 completions on normal than to try to farm out things on elite. Yeah, here's a few tips. This item, the Epic Glimpse of the Soul, is what I use to have Intercession Ward. And I've added the Adamantite Ritual #1 on it because the Abbot likes to disjunk all of your items, and if it breaks, you won't be able to cast any divine spells because the quells will get you. So I made it a little tougher. Okay, here's my setup for my Epic Destinies. I'm using the Divine Crusader stance, and this will give me Heavenly Presence that has the Petrification immunity. Mighty Crusade has a chance of casting Crusade on me, who helps me with my DPS. How Dare You Strike Me is something that will go off by itself. Here's my Endless Turning that makes it so when I turn undead, I also get Restoration. So this is not spell based, I don't run out of spell points. And I also use the Angelic Charge so I can have wings to speed up my entry into the different puzzle rooms. The Deepening Faith makes sure that I have enough spell points to cast minimum spells. Consecration is what I use to do lots of heal, but I also have Quick Cutter. This is what I used on the Death Knights in the rooms to give them like a little dot. So I use this instead of Consecration. I can't have both at the same time. And note that if you want to go, you can get the shield Ultimatum from DOJ, the Father of Just, and you can even just buy it with rune raids, and it has on it Petrification immunity. So instead of changing destinies, you could use this shield. If you don't want to use the shield itself, there's actually a special augment you can make out of this shield. If you go to the Hall of Heroes, I believe this is only in the Eberron side, and you jump down into the left, there's a special altar. Okay, this is the Soul Forged altar. And if you can take one soul gem, these come a soul vessel, these come from Feywild, and you get the shield, the ultimatum, 50 threads, and you'll get a green augment, who's the essence of the ultimatum. You can just slot into any item. That'll be the best way to avoid petrification. Also notable is that you can get from the raid Killing Time, you can also get a pair of braces, braces of the mountain. I do not think that it's worth farming these braces, but if you happen to be hoarding them in your bank and never knew what to do with them, yeah, this might be their chance to shine, and this way you can stay in your main destiny. Well, that's going to be it. As always, if you've enjoyed this video, please hit like and subscribe. Thank you all very much for watching, and I hope to see you all in my next video. Bye!